Hello, welcome back to Marvel Puzzle Quest with me, P.I. McLeod, and yeah, look at all those purples ending in a heroic token. Seems anticlimactic, but you know, if you know your math, then you know that we still have 7 days before the actual 10-year mark. So, yeah, interesting to see what's going to happen. I'm looking forward to it, obviously. But we're not here for that today. We're not even here for Lester Verde up there at the top. His Welcome to S.H.I.E.L.D. is started today, but today's day one. And we all know that day one is a little anticlimactic. We'll be doing this tomorrow, day one and day two for Dr. Bong. Snicker while you can. Welcome to S.H.I.E.L.D. For today, nope, already did those. Over here, Deadpool Daily. Crash the Titan time. We got 2 Titans to crash today. Yeah, let's get into it, right? First off, we have Professor X's, 4-star Professor X. I should be more explicit here. How do I explain Professor X? Well, when he came into Marvel Puzzle Quest, he was one of the only people in the game that could go invisible. Now, of course, Invisible Woman already existed at this point, and there was invisible options, but it was pretty decently cheap. It has really nice support options. He's a great support character in the game. He didn't break the game or anything when he came in, but he did introduce us to a bunch of other extra teams that, one of the earlier Winfinites, that we ever had. There was a team that everyone used to call Charlie's Angels, because, his name's Chuck. So, Charlie's Angels would be him and 3-star Black Widow and Wanda, 3-star Scarlet Witch. Oh, hey, how's it going, John? Welcome to the stream. So he, because of his blue, which allows you to create 4 of your strongest color AP whenever a match 5 is made, along with doing a nice burst of damage, it became a nice way to do a Winfinite strategy, with Wanda feeding you the purple, and of course Black Widow allowing you to just abuse that purple by making 2 match 5s with her green. Well, using the green tiles that she makes. So out of the purple. Anyways, whatever. You get the idea. There's more ways to do it nowadays. It isn't just that. You could also, my favorite is him and Nightcrawler along with 5-star Wanda. That's an easy way to do purple bamfs all day long and do the same effect. Professor X can be super annoying because once he goes invisible, obviously you have to knock out that invisibility tile to find him and get rid of him. If he has a special tile on a board, a strike, an attack, or a protect, or any and all of the above, when he makes matches, he strengthens them with his passives. His purple invisibility and power basically states when he makes matches while invisible, he's strengthening those tiles. So if he's invisible, then he's just going to keep making himself stronger with more matches. He can become quite dangerous when doing that. Of course, all you have to do is match that purple tile and then beat him to a pulp, but, you gotta find it first, right? Anyways, let's see what we get to use against him today. I said Nightcrawler, didn't I? Well, here he is. This is my boy, my number 1 favorite Marvel character, and it's probably because of a lot of childhood growing up with the cartoon stuff. I just have a penchant for teleportation abilities personally. I think they're pretty cool. Nightcrawler, he's definitely one of the cooler, in my opinion, teleporters in the Marvel book. He can teleport pretty much as far as he wants, as long as he can imagine it or see it really safely. He's got a little bit of a mental block, because if he can't see his destination, he kind of, he might freeze up a little bit, but that's just more of a personal, a disadvantage he has mentally, but that's okay. He's still awesome. He's still a martial artist. He's still great with swords, and he's a man of God, as he would say. He's very religious. I think he's a well-rounded character. But you didn't come here to hear that speech, did you? Kurt Wagner in this game is very unique in his ability Bamf. For 7 purple, you create up to 8 basic tiles of the color most present, to the color most present on the board. So if there's, let's say there's mostly red tiles on the board and you cast this, then you're going to create 8 more red tiles. As if you needed more, right? Well, you can imagine how this ends. It changes only the basic tiles, so you have to have some room to play. In other words, Polaris type teams can totally put a kibosh on your fun. But otherwise, as long as there's enough basics out there, you could easily flood the board with a color of your choice, hence making a bunch of random matches and cascades. And you've probably left the board still heavy in the color of your choice. So if you have enough purple to cast Bamf again, you could definitely do it. Also, as a passive, and people kind of forget about this, if there's any team damage incoming, he avoids it. He just goes airborne for a turn instead. Super fun, honestly. Like, he will not take team damage, and so he just comes right back down to the ground. Yes, that can be combined with things like, Throg, who says when an airborne ally touches the ground again, they destroy all their strongest color and charge tiles. Can be combined with it. Could be fun. Notification always says you're grading 2022 4 stars. Really? I changed that like every time I go in. That's weird, John. I'll have to check that on my Twitch settings. Maybe it's because I'm changing it within my Prism settings. Thank you for letting me know that, John. Okay. His red on guard is basically him just hitting someone with his swords. It does some damage, but if he has 10 or more AP in the strongest color on the team, he deals, well, a good amount more. And then finally, Everywhere at Once is a pretty good power, honestly. It just costs 12 blue, so it's a little pricey for my taste. But he deals a pretty decent amount of damage for each point of AP in the enemy's strongest color. So in other words, if they don't have a lot of if they don't have a lot of AP in their strongest color, don't cast it. Okay? But when they have a good amount, you can do some good damage to them, and you get to steal 4 of it. I put it at 3 though, personally, because honestly, if I'm using them, I just like the fact of Bamf being as good as it can be, and then red is just a quick hit of damage. I probably should do it the other way around, but heck, it costs more AP, so I'm not going to use it as often. Anyways, very easy character to use, almost a fire and forget sort of character, but you kind of want to be careful with your Bamfs. When you cast it, it will tell you, thankfully. It used to not tell you, but now it does. It'll tell you which color is most present on the board. So you can at least plan it out. Like, oh, it's a lot of green. Oh, I don't want to make more green out there now, and don't cast it. Personally, I like waiting till it says purple and just making more purple so you can Bamf again for free. But I think you've kind of already figured out the math on that, right? Anywho, let's go get ourselves a professor, right? Let's go. One-on-ones always need character effects on, because why else would we be doing this? Look at these match 5s they want to set us up with. Might as well take them. We don't want good old Chuck taking them, right? I see a match 4. I don't see any reason to let him have it, so I guess let's go. Now, his only power he fires off, by the way, is purple, which is what makes him invisible. The yellow and blue are both passives. We basically just don't want him to get enough purple to go invisible. You can let him have any other color you want. And to be quite fair, he's not going to be a lot of trouble for you because, well, he only makes special tiles when an ally, not himself, when an ally casts an ability. So, Chuck's kind of a sitting duck in this fight. He would have totally matched that purple, though, if he didn't have a match 4 that the computer makes him do. A big old cue ball staring me in the face. Now, see, if I cast this now, this is going to make 8 basic tiles into a color most present, which says red. I'm going to cast it anyways, because, well... Yeah, let's finish him off. Give him a haircut. That's a balding joke. Oh, there's some lag. Yeah, I just saw it lag for me there for a second. Dang. That wasn't cool. Thank you for the notice, John. I gotta call my internet provider tomorrow. I've tried everything I can to fix these things up around the house, and it still gives me issues. Okay. Anyways. Next up is Rocket and Groot. We've explained them over and over and over again, and honestly, nothing's changed. We know that they're going to start off with a few different strike tiles on the board because of that yellow. If he gets a good amount of blue and green, he's got some pricey but effective blue and green abilities that could do damage and effect creating tiles. But I mean, I think the key is here, just don't let him gather all that blue and green. Come on. Of course, part of our problem will end up being his strike tiles. If we can't match away some of those beginning strike tiles, we're going to be in trouble. I'm going to try killing him without using a health pack. We'll see what happens. Well, they give us a match 5 right off the bat. I mean, kind of have to take it, right? Now I have enough blue to cast already, but that would be pointless. Remember, this blue says you deal damage for each point of AP in the enemy's strongest and steal 2 of it. In this case, well, the level I put it at, right? He doesn't have any AP, so I would do 0s all around. So let's be patient, let him gather some AP. After all, we haven't seen that animation yet today, right? Hope the our signal better now, John. I kind of want to leave the blue alone and just let him match some. Just there we go. Let's see it. Bam, bam, bam. Yay, we get to see it. And we'll kill him with a Bamf, because Bamfs are fun. But whatever. Boop. And there we go. Easy peasy. Honestly, Nightcrawler is not hard to use. You just gotta, I don't know, mind your AP usage. Check out what the computer has. Don't just cast willy-nilly. But it's, other than that, it's not too hard. There we go. Nightcrawler's Crashes of the Titans. He went up and kicked old Professor Xavier's chair over. And then after that, he went and found Rocket and Groot and, I don't know, took away all their toys. We got some legendary tokens for it. Yay! That's it, man. Really, tomorrow we're going to run the Welcome to S.H.I.E.L.D. days 1 and 2 for Dr. Bong. Again, snicker, snicker. And that's it. Easy peasy day, right? I hope you guys are having a good time with these quests, those event quests. As you can tell, they don't show on my screen anymore. If you need any help completing them, like maybe if you need a team suggestion, like how do you kill all those black tiles? Or how are you going to remove this many purple tiles? How did you cast so many powers? You know, if you need advice on how to get those things done, I got some teams that I use to kind of speed through those processes pretty darn fast. So that way, I don't know, you get those boring things up behind you. Anyways, thank you very much for joining me, John, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for days 1 and 2 for Dr. Bong's Welcome to S.H.I.E.L.D. Good night, everybody.